The language around internalized racism varies. People use that term differently. There are some people who talk about internalized racism as representing both a process by which whites have internalized their superiority and people of color have internalized their inferiorities. So it's the same term for both of those experiences, which are obviously very different. I tend to use the term internalized racism to represent the experience of people of color who have internalized the racism from society. Essentially, what that means is that the proponents of racism and all the variety of ways in which it's exacted speak to or insist upon the inferiority of people of color. And so when you've internalized that, that means that you have internalized to some degree that you are inferior. As a marginalized, subjugated person, your character, your integrity is under attack. So the last thing you want to do is to acknowledge that in fact you have internalized some of that, because that just makes you more vulnerable. But as part of the healing, it needs to come up, it needs to come out, but it can only happen in a safe place. So that is where a within group process, and by within group what I mean is with people who share the same identity, whether that's the same race or same class, are together to be able to talk without worrying about feeling that you are now sharing a vulnerability with people who have benefited from your oppression. But you can find now that Black people are much more comfortable in talking about skin color and the ways in which lighter skin is often privileged in the Black community as well as in the white community. And that's because I think some of the shame of that has been healed. And that as that shame gets healed, people are freer to talk about it because they're not feeling that shame about that anymore. It's as if the more you can begin to talk about the ways in which you have been wounded by racism, the more you're able to understand and really feel clear that that shame is not yours. It doesn't belong to you. That what has happened and what is happening is shameful. And then it makes it easier for you to actually talk about it across racial groups